If you've ever taken a Facebook course online, you might open up the course and immediately be put into Facebook and start learning how to run ads. I'm not a big fan of doing it this way because, in my personal opinion, having a strategy with running your ads on Facebook is quite possibly the most important thing you can do before you even spend a dollar in Facebook. When I was learning Facebook ads, it was the thing that slowed me down the most. And honestly, if I would have known what I know now back then, I would have saved a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of confusion by just taking a step back and getting my strategy perfected. So in this video, I want to talk strategy. If you already have a Facebook strategy, please go on to the next lesson. But if you're just getting started with Facebook marketing and marketing in general, and you're not really sure what you should be doing, let's dive in and talk strategy. So like I said, before you start running ads, before you start making them look pretty and designing your templates and stuff, you need to take a step back and realize that you need to have a strategy. It's always the first step. And it's not hard. It's actually really easy when it's done right. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a strategy and you can start implementing it throughout the training with the strategy in mind. So like I was saying before, it's going to save you time, especially with your results, making sure that you're getting a return on your investment. It's going to save you money from the ads you're running and frustration for not getting the results you want by running the wrong strategy or by not having a strategy to begin with. So there are dozens of strategies that work on Facebook for marketing, and I'm just going to cover some of the more common ones for a couple reasons, but mainly because they're the ones that I've seen work and they work really well. So we're going to go ahead and cover those. So like I was saying, not all of these are going to work for every business type or every business model, but most of them will. So we're going to cover the common ones, and it's up to you to kind of decide which one fits into your business model. So the first one, the blogger, is a content marketing focused type industry. And we'll get into more of these in depth here in this video. The video share, which is video focused. The salesman, so they run ads that pitch their product and their service. The attention seeker, they have a promotion or something that they want their brand to share with everybody, so they're going to go onto Facebook to do that. And then finally, the leader, somebody who's trying to start a community on Facebook and be the thought leader or rally people around a cry to do something. So let's go a little bit more in depth on these. The blogger. So the primary goal of the blogger is to educate and generate leads. So how this might look is anytime you publish a new blog post or a resource or an article on your website, you're going to go on Facebook to drive people over to the website, the blog, to have them opt into your newsletter or your email list, so then you can do your selling there. The video sharer, that is somebody whose primary goal is to educate and generate leads, very much like the blogger, but with a slight twist. Video right now is the best way to engage people dollar for dollar on Facebook, and the reason for that is Facebook. There's a lot of stats out there that show video is the most consumed content channel on Facebook. So Facebook wants to keep people on their website for as long as possible. If you have engaging content in video format that does that, Facebook's more likely to show those in the news feeds than ads that are text and image based that do not get clicked on. The salesman, so the primary goal is to obviously generate leads. These ads typically are pitching a product or a service that takes somebody over to the website to where they can set up a call or get more information, and hopefully the website converts them and there's a sales funnel on the back end that actually turns them into a closed deal. The attention seeker. So these are brands who need to share information with somebody, and maybe they don't get a lot of traffic coming to their website, or they have a limited window to where the promotion's running, so they need to go on Facebook and drive people from Facebook over to their website to educate them about the promotion. And then finally, the leader. The whole point of the leader is to create a community of fans and then pitch them or sell them once they have them in their community. So that could be a forum, could be an email list, a webinar, anything like that, where they can actually do the selling once they have siphoned off some fans from Facebook. So let's see some of these examples in the real world. So the first one, The Blogger. BuzzFeed is a huge blog, and they do a great job of sharing all of their content on Facebook. This is a good ad because it's a short description of what you're going to read about in the blog post. The interesting image grabs your eye. People love dogs and animals. It's a great one to, kind of check out when you're going through your news feed. It grabs your eye, and then it looks like it was shared natively, meaning somebody just like copied the URL into their Facebook newsfeed. And so this looks like it's a naturally occurring piece of content as opposed to an ad. The video share. So the most important part of the video is something that's compelling. Obviously, this looks like an older guy who's about to drop in on a skateboard with a bunch of people watching. So it kind of entices you to be one of the people, like you're almost like on the other side of the skate park wanting to watch what's going to happen. And because it's Monster Energy, you got to figure it's going to be something, like an extreme sport. So you're going to click play to see what happens. The thumbnail must always refer to what's happening in the video, and then the text needs to also clearly talk about what's going to actually happen in the video. So The Salesman, this is Sumo.com, which is a service to help you grow your email lists. The reason why this ad is so good is because it has a compelling start saying that 600,000 websites use it to grow traffic, so it tells you what they do. And then they're going to use Pat Flynn, who is a big-time podcaster, and talks about passive income. And they're going to kind of siphon off his expertise and credibility by using a quote from him in the description of their ad. This ad image is really clean. It has their branding in it. You should always try and brand your ads as much as you can. And then finally, the call to action or the headline is compelling with the 40% off. It kind of grabs your eye, and that's where they're actually pitching you what their service is going to do for you. The attention seeker. So for instance, Ford Motor Company, maybe you drive Ford and you only drive Fords, but you're not going to go visit Ford's website every day to see what they have out there that's new. So this is a way to kind of let you know what kind of promotions they have going. The brand should always be kind of a branded image. This one looks like an ad, but sometimes that's okay because people expect to see ads in Facebook. So as long as you have a brand that's really recognizable, it's okay to kind of pitch people an ad that you've used, other places like on TV. And then the short title kind of just explains what it is. And of course you want the title and the description to kind of explain what the ad is ultimately selling somebody. And finally, the leader. So this is Dave, who is most famously known for starting Bulletproof Coffee. And so he's in the health niche. He talks a lot about the things we put into our body and what they can do for us. So here he is talking about Monsanto, who's known for a lot of GMO type stuff. And one side or the other, like this isn't the time to talk about it, but Dave is obviously kind of rallying some people up saying like, look what's happening in our news. The interesting image is showing a farmer, which if you are a farmer yourself or you're really passionate about, weeds, pesticides, GMOs, this is going to grab your attention. And then the compelling title, it's either going to sway you one way or the other. You're going to click and, Dave's going to kind of be the thought leader on this topic because you clicked on his Facebook ad. So picking the right strategy, how do you do it? You can use more than one strategy at a time. If you are content focused, you can, share blog posts and videos as well as pitch people on your service. There's no reason why you have to stick with one strategy, but I would say in order to move from one strategy to the next, you should have your numbers honed for one before moving on to the next. So for instance, you could say, I know on average when I do a content piece, it costs me about, say, $250 and I get 100 clicks. And of those 100 clicks, I might get 5 people to sign up for my email list. So you can scale your ads because you know that strategy and how it works. So again, feel free to use multiple strategies, but make sure you know your cost per acquisition and your conversion rate before you move on to the next strategy. And so how to decide on the right strategy for you, here's some common questions you should ask yourself. What type of ads does your audience respond to? If you can go on Facebook and see, maybe some of your fans or people who have liked videos, have they liked content? What are they sharing? If you had an ideal customer in mind, go snoop them on Facebook and kind of see what they're talking about and what they're doing. What type of ads are your competitors running? Just quickly go opt in or something on one of their sites, and chances are they're going to hit you with a retargeting ad, and you can kind of see what they're doing and what's working for them. What is your USP? So you should always know your unique selling proposition. What can you offer that your competitors can't, or that you offer that's slightly different than your competitors? That might dictate your strategy. So if it's something that you have to show more than explain, maybe video is the way you go. If you're a lot cheaper, then maybe just a straight up sales pitch where you can show the difference in cost and price is the way to go. What is your business case for running Facebook ads? So do you need leads? Do you need people to actually call on the phone to close deals? Do you need sales? Are you running a t-shirt company and you need people to buy your shirts? Is it traffic? Do you need more people coming to your website so you can convert them? So you have to know why you actually want to run the Facebook ads. And then how much is a lead worth? Are you willing to spend $100 on Facebook to get a lead? $10? You need to know that number in your business in order to, before you even start running any Facebook ads. And then how much are you willing to spend to acquire one lead? So this is talking about money, but time. So if it takes you a week to set up the campaign, monitor it, optimize it, say you spend $1,000, but you need each lead to be, $1 for you to make sense in your business, chances are Facebook might be too expensive for what you're doing. And then again, finding out what your Facebook budget is going to be. So I see it all the time. People will spend $5 a day, which is totally fine when you're getting started. But don't be surprised if that doesn't deliver the numbers you need. If you run some of these numbers back and say, okay, I need 1,000 people to come to my website before I can get 10 conversions, then you need to go on Facebook saying, okay, if it costs me $100 to get 1,000 people, my budget is going to be $100, and if I scale it up to $200, what are my numbers looking like then? Okay, so more on the budgeting stuff later, but those are some of the common questions that I like to ask before helping somebody run some Facebook ads. So one thing you should get really comfortable with is CPA, your cost of acquisition per customer. I just talked about it on the last slide, but it's one of the metrics that if you can nail this in your business, it'll make Facebook marketing a lot easier for you. So here's a quick example. You run a t-shirt business. Say you sell a shirt for $30, but they cost you $18 to make. That's including the physical shirt and the printing of it. Maybe the shipping. I don't know. Your margin is $12 then. So you take home $8 after shipping, packaging, branding, and all that, getting it to the customer. Therefore, your CPA should be less than $8, or you're going to lose money on Facebook. So you can't afford to spend $8 per ad for somebody to convert on an ad, right? Like it has to be below that. And so ideally, you want to get a CPA of $4 or less so you can make $2 for every dollar you spend in ads, right? You spend $100 in Facebook ads, you get $200 in shirt purchases. So that's kind of the way you should think about CPA. Setting your business up for success. So a couple things to do before even running ads is looking at your landing pages. So when you run an ad on Facebook, you have to drive them to somewhere to convert. So if that's your website, what's your conversion rate? If it's really low, then why would you spend money bringing somebody to somewhere that they're not going to convert? So making sure that that's dialed in before you run Facebook ads is critical. Are you pre-framing the ad copy with the landing page copy? I see this mistake quite a bit. So if you run an ad and it says something and you drop them on a page on your website and what you're talking about in the ad's like at the bottom or the middle of it, people might get confused and be like, so what is this now? And they'll leave. If the headline in your ad is compelling, might as well just make it the headline of your landing page. If the imagery is compelling, might as well make it the same imagery. So that's what I mean. There should be a clear distinction. Hey, I'm leaving Facebook. I'm going to the website now, but I understand this hop. Like, this makes sense. Do you have tracking in place? Do you have something in place right now to see how many people are coming from Facebook to your website, what they're doing, what pages they're going to? Google Analytics is a really popular tool for this. If you don't have that set up in place, I strongly recommend it. Some of the other videos in this will rely on the fact that you have some kind of tracking in place, or else you're going to be wasting money, not knowing what's working, and that's going to suck. And then you probably already know this, but what are some common questions leads have before buying your product or service? Are they answered in the ad? So if you hear the same questions commonly, put it in your ad. Like, it's a great way to basically answer the question as they're clicking to bring them to hopefully encourage them to convert. And you can do a little bit of the upfront sales within your ad. And then this is a really critical piece. Do you have testimonials you can use? Let others do the selling for you. Run an ad where it's just maybe a case study that you did, or somebody saying something really positive about your business. Clip out a Yelp review or something, take a screenshot, and just run an ad to people saying like, hey, I'm a legit business. People like me. Maybe you will too. All right, so that is all I have for lesson 1. I know that's a lot to throw at you. I hope it gave you some good things to think about with how you're going to run your Facebook ads. In the next lesson, which I'm going to send to you very soon here, we're going to actually dive into Facebook page optimizations. So if you're ready, you can go ahead and move on to the next lesson. If you want to take some time and think about this, I say go for it, and I'll talk to you soon.